The Iron Man suit.
Oh, Iron Man.
I heard you talk about this on another podcast, and I want to go in detail on this project because I believe you got cut off.
So if you want to hear a really wild podcast, I was on Joe Rogan June last year, and I dug, like I told you that I'm very I want to know. Like, you're not going to tell me the sky is blue. I want to know why it's blue. You know, and it's about reflections, refractions, some other stuff. But if I'm curious about that, and I'm not going to take you, and I'm not going to take it for granted that stuff is going on, you know. And I went in a lot of rabbit holes with Joe, you know, and then for whatever reason I don't know how it happened, but I talked about the Iron Man project, and he was like, Iron Man, and I was like, yeah, like the Iron Man movie, you know. Hey Sarge, what's up, buddy? The Iron Man, come on over here and sit down. Come here, over here, sit down. Flats.
Nice.
If you speak German to him, he does everything right away. So he was trained in German to do the big stuff, and then he's out of that program, and now he's like a civilian dog. So I talk to him in English all the time, but if you ever speak German to him, he's like... The Iron Man. So he asked me, it was Iron Man, like the movie Iron Man, that guy, what's his name? I can't stand Hollywood.
Tony Stark?
Yeah, that guy. But the actor guy.
Oh.
But I don't care. He's an idiot. So all of them are. They just, I don't understand.
Chris, you could call a lot of people idiots after what I've just heard you talk about.
Well, they're freaking millionaires, and they could do so much good.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, that's the guy.
He's a billionaire.
Actually, he's a pretty cool guy. He's one of the
billionaire.
good ones. I think he's one of the good ones, though. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I shouldn't do that anyway. That was just really bad. But it drives me crazy that they have so much potential and they do so little with it.
Yeah.
It really makes me angry. I don't get that.
It's greed.
So Iron Man, we started working on Iron Man, and like really hard, like really digging in on Iron Man. In 2004 or 5, it's been a while, maybe later than that.
Who was digging in on Iron Man?
I'll leave that one alone.
Okay.
But I had a lot of access to.
But you're not on the movie set.
No, I'm talking about the real. We don't do anything with the movies. That's all fake.
Yeah,
It's
that's
plastic.
why I'm just
junk.
making it very apparent to the
No, what
audience
we were
that
doing-
this was the real thing, not animation.
The full suit's gonna weigh 1,000 pounds. It's huge, and that was when I started saying this is stupid.
What is it, like an exoskeleton suit or something?
Well, that's when I started going into the exoskeleton and everything else. And I said, what you guys are trying to do is just let's do this, and then build up to that when we can do that. Because right now, if you have the suit on, you can't use any of our vehicles. You can't get on an airplane, basically. You can get on a cargo plane, and you'll be almost the only one on there standing on the back ramp getting ready to go. I said, and that's ridiculous. I said, how do you deploy these guys? You know, how do you get on a ship to do anything? You can't do anything, you know, right now, until they start building the vehicles or start building the stuff or the airplanes and the parachutes. You're talking about parachuting in heavier than, well, no, it'd be about the same as some of our boats. But that takes 3 G12s, you know? So you're gonna have one guy flying out with a G12? That's a giant parachute. A parachute's as big as this building, you know, it's giant parachutes. So there was a bunch of stuff that I was really hitting them on. I was saying, you can't do that, can't do that. So then I started going to the national labs like Sandia and Lawrence Livermore and all the laboratories that did the Manhattan Project. So now I'm inside the Manhattan Project. I'm working with all these guys, like real deep. And I can't talk about most of that, but...
What is the Manhattan Project?
The nukes in World War II.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The, oh man, some of the projects I was in would be really wild. But you need to be there and in all of them to do some of the programs I was doing. Because a program like that is going to take in the comms and the visuals and the ballistics and the ergonomics plus the mechanical. And then if a battery goes down or something goes down, then how is the guy going to move? You know? And so that's when I started going into the ancient times. And that's when I met the dude that was doing the shark fighting. And he wears a shark fighting suit, it's Neptunic. Cool guy, man, really cool guy. I can't remember his name. Man, I wish I could meet him again. But he invented the way to make shark suits, and he does it. And so that's where I was going. Wasn't it a shark fighting? And it's like bullfighting. They don't really fight the sharks. All they want to do is get the shark to them, and they grab a hold of the dorsal fin and they ride it. That's shark fighting. It's like they call it bullfighting, but they also call the clowns in there, or more the bullfighters than the cowboys that are doing it, if you know that.
Yeah.
So I was doing what the clowns do with the bulls, you know, and the shark fighting and everything else, you know. I was trying to figure out how to be real mobile. Because if you think about the rodeo clowns, they're more heroes than the cowboy ever was. I mean, those guys are the ones saving the cowboys, you know? And they're also getting gored and really messed up. So if you think about a rodeo clown, that's who the SEAL should be. You know, they're the ones saving everybody. And they have to move way better than the cowboys do. So the cowboys can wear the armor and really heavy stuff and can do the stuff, but the clowns can't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm going in that direction, you know? And they're actually the bullfighters, the clowns are. It's not the cowboys. And that's why they call them, it's bullfighting. The clowns do. So, and that's the direction I was going into. And so I was working with a group called Moashi, which I kind of failed at because that's when the craziness was also going on with all of this stuff. And as soon as I came out and I said, hey, I want to be Christian, it just went, I had nothing. You know, it all fell apart. And so then I lost track with Moashi. And the way they figured out the exoskeleton was from overweight people. If you think about somebody who weighs 300 or 400 pounds, and you think about what the amount of weight that they're carrying around, and how they carry that weight, and then also think about the strength of that person. You know, put them on a leg machine, have them squat, put them on a leg machine and see what they can actually push with their legs. I can push way more than they can, but I weigh like 190. You know, they're weighing 300, carrying a lot of weight around. Well, how are they doing that? Well, that's what they figured out. And it's not powered. It's an unpowered suit.
It's an unpowered suit?
Not now. But the one I was trying to build was going to be an unpowered bullfighting suit. It would have been like the shark fighting stuff. It would have been magnificent. And they kept going in their direction, just like that idiot. You can't do that. Cut that out, please. So just like that guy that was trying to fly UAV to interdict a vehicle. You know, you're trying to go super high tech to do something that doesn't need to be high tech. So we don't need this thing to be a robot. We don't need to be Iron Man like they have in the movies. It's a movie. Eventually we'll be there. But that's, you know, I don't want that. And it's only going to be 1 or 2 guys in a platoon with another 100 guys supporting those guys in the suits. So it doesn't make sense. So if they would have let me go with my program, I didn't need that much money. I mean, I could have done this they're doing hundreds of millions of dollars. I could have done this for tens of millions, you know? And it would have been a better suit and everybody would have been using it. The entire Marine Corps would have been outfitted with my suit instead of 1 or 2 Marines, you know?
Yeah.
So which suit do you want?
And so this
So they started going way down the movie Iron Man route because they want the movie Iron Man.
Yeah.
The movie Iron Man is ridiculous. Right now, because we don't have the infrastructure, we don't have the vehicles, we don't have anything, you know? It doesn't work. And we're not going to have that guy flying around, you know, for very far. Mm-hmm. You know, we have that one suit the guy's using right now. You saw him do the shipboarding and the stuff, but there's other stuff I can do that with that we don't need the suit for, you know?
Yeah.
So I can do that with, well, that's probably classified. No, there's something similar to that, though. That there was a guy that had a project where he was taking beetle wings, and he was taking the beetle wings and he was moving them in such a way that he could actually levitate them. If he crosses the pattern of the structure of the wings, they would somehow. It's weird science.
Interesting.
Look up a beetle wing flying machine. And I think that should be enough to Google.
Beetle wing flying
Beetle
machine.
wing flying machine.
I'm looking it up.
So I think just that should be enough words to figure, and you might end up with a video of the guy doing it.
If there is a video, it's actually playing right now. So
Somebody might be.
we're gonna splice it in.
But there's so much stuff like that, and the problem is.